Hey guys, welcome to Tesni the Ravenous, tactics, how to, and whatnot. So Tesni the Ravenous really has kind of like two mechanics that'll kill you. Apart from that, there's not much just going on. Occasional ads will spawn, which ideally you want to kill as soon as possible, but I personally just dot them up. So the first of these mechanics is Acid Splash. Now, basically, she's going to put a dot on you, and the only way to cleanse this dot or become immune to it is kill one of the hives, which gives you a temporary buff which lasts 15 seconds, which makes you immune to the acid in the acid splash. So it's simply, you can either burn down the hive a bit beforehand and then tip it over when he casts this ability, or you can go straight to it and start DPSing it when he starts casting this. But if you choose to do that, then sometimes you won't get it down in time, meaning you're going to take a tick of the acid, which deals about 6k damage. So yeah, it is kind of up to you and whether or not you feel comfortable enough quickly DPSing them down or not. There are only 3 hives throughout the room, so this kind of acts as soft enrage on the fight. You've basically got to kill the boss before all 3 hives are dead, or you're going to take the damage from the acid splash, which if you don't have any self-healing at all, or sufficient self-healing, it will kill you, and you will die to it. So the next mechanic is Tesni will emote, Tesni is spitting mad, and then for the next 30 seconds, what she's going to do every 2 or 3 seconds, she's going to drop an AoE on you, and then basically if you stand in that, that's going to deal about 4k for every second that you're standing in it. So you want to be continually moving. As you can see, every time she drops an AoE on me, I just like to move a bit to either the right or left, just to keep them fairly close together. When Tesni has finished casting these, all of these little puddles of gook and spit will despawn, so you won't have to worry about sort of, dealing with them through the rest of the fight. Just so while this mechanic is essentially going on, just keep moving and you'll be absolutely fine. Now, the last kind of 2 mechanics, which aren't really mechanics, is basically occasionally she'll spawn a couple of ads of about 4k health. You can just AoE these down, and every 45 seconds, a sort of smaller, crawler type bug will spawn with about 60k health. You can either just DPS it down straight away, or just gradually dot it up. I prefer, just because I'm an Inquisitor and it works better for my class, just to chuck a Scourge and a Vex on it, and then just continue fighting Tesni while it's on. So that's pretty much it for the fight. Just remember, when she casts Acid Splash, you want to get to Hive, and when she's spitting, just keep moving gradually left or right, whichever suits you the best. So keep that up and you'll have her down in no time. Now moving on to Mistress and Inyra, the main sort of thing in this fight to kind of make use of, and a lot of people don't understand, is an ability known as Planar Overload. So what they'll do is, for example, Mistress will go, Seatin is inflicted by Planar Overload. So you have this like debuff for 20 seconds, and while you have it, you're dealing triple damage. That's right, triple. So it allows you to deal with other mechanics and just basically rage on everything really hard. But if you let this debuff expire, you're going to explode, taking about 20k damage, which will one-shot sort of most poorly geared players. So the way to actually, cleanse this is simply just run into a yellow circle. Now, I like to do this very, very on the edge, so I will run in literally at the last second. But if you want to play it safe, I'd suggest when it gets to about 3 or 4 seconds, then you want to run into the circle. The circles are the little yellow sort of fountains appearing across the room, and they'll sort of change location. When they're about to despawn, they will turn purple. So that's the way you do it. So this appears to be sort of every 20 to 30 seconds. What she's going to do is she's going to shield herself, and 3 blobs will spawn throughout the room, and if any of them get to her, they're going to give her a slight damage increase for only 20 seconds. So it's not really the end of the world, and it doesn't sort of mean too much if they get to her, but if you can stop all the blobs getting to her, then you do get an achievement, which is pretty damn cool. So try your best to kill all of them. I know this, won't be possible with some people's gear, and she often does react to, well, activate before all the blobs have finished getting to her. So moving on, while the blobs aren't going on, she's basically just going to be chucking sort of red AoEs down everywhere, like this, simply, get into a rotation of avoiding her. There'll be side swipes, and there'll also be the circle ones, and they're fairly easy to avoid. I mean, this is circle one now, and sometimes she just cancels them randomly, and they don't appear terribly well. So you really need to kind of stay on your toes throughout the fight to avoid all of them successfully, because if you get hit by one, then you take about 10k damage, and obviously that isn't an ideal scenario for anyone. So Yeah, I mean, make the most of Planner Overload, avoid AoEs, and try to kill as many blobs as you can. It is really as simple as that, and a great fun fight. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Planebreaker Bastion Aftermath Chronicle Guide. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned something. It's fairly straightforward on normal, so hopefully next week I can get out a hard mode guide video. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, and thank you once again for watching. Cheers.